Monday edition. The offseason has begun for 18 teams, for 14 teams. The games continue this week, except for the ones who earned bye weeks. The Seahawks got the bye week in the NFC with the win and it was convincing. 3 points. You know the last time Kyle scored 3 points was his first game with the 49ers.
I'm not
Lost
shocked.
23-3 in his debut in 2017, week 1 at home. Had not scored 3 points or fewer since then.
I don't remember ever seeing a Shanahan offense look like that, especially with the starting quarterback in there, and McCaffrey and Kittle are all there, right? But this is
they were hitting Seahawks right out of the gates. They were bringing it to them.
The Seahawks, as you heard me say, like on the pod on Thursday when we picked the game, and I think if you took the two teams and combined them, you'd go, whoa. I know the records are similar, but if we went through it, we'd go, and I always like to do this as a little bit of basic test. I think we'd pick a whole lot more Seahawks than you would 49ers. The Seahawks are one of the most well-rounded teams in football. I'm not a believer in the 49ers, as I told you last week. That defense is not a Super Bowl defense. It's not even a really good playoff defense. All right? It was a miracle, like Shanahan said at halftime. I can't believe we're only down 10. That's what he said. I mean, he literally was like, we're getting killed, and we're only down 10. This is a positive here. So, yes, that Seahawks team, I think if they just learn to be a little more efficient on the offensive side of the ball, which I think they're close, and the magnitude of the games and where they are at now, I think they're getting there. I mean, that was a game there, yes, they should have certainly won by more than 13-3. They were impressive, though. That defensive side of the ball, and you see on the offense, they can run the ball, they can control the clock that way, and we know they're capable of explosive pass plays in the pass game, even though that didn't happen. Impressive that Sammy Darnold was a little shaky early. First drive, had a touchdown, and you went, oh, my God, are we going to do this again, Sam Darnold? But he bounced back, played really well, happy for him. And I do think that the Seahawks are the best team in the NFC, and I'm glad to see them win the number 1 seed.
Well, and just like with the Broncos, it's going to be very difficult to go to Seattle and win, and they get 2 victories, and they're in the Super Bowl. And it could be Seattle-Denver when it's time. A rematch of Super Bowl 48 that was played at MetLife Stadium.
Yeah, right.
So the Bears get the number 2 seed. They back into it. They lost to the Lions, and they get that 2 seed because the Eagles went with the B team for the most part and lost to the Commanders. And I don't understand why these teams don't value higher placement. Just between 2 and 3, you're looking at 2 home games guaranteed if you're the 2 seed. If you're the 3 seed, you got 1 game, and then you got to go on the road to the number 2 seed. I think that's a huge difference. 49ers, Eagles at Bears. If they win, and who knows in the wild card round, Eagles at Bears is very different than Bears at Eagles.
I hear that. I think the Eagles are a supremely confident team that they feel like we're battle-tested. We know how to play playoff football.
As long as our offense shows up.
And we're the most talented. Well, even when they don't show up, they win the majority of the games.
That's true.
I mean, they win 90% of the games.
The two games where they were 0-7 and 0-8 passing in the second half, they won.
That's so they're looking at it, I think, going, as long as we're healthy, we know how to play playoff football. We know how to rise to the occasion, and I do believe there's some of that. I think Nick Sirianni, he took that over the 2 seed. Listen, I'm with you in that, but I do think healthier football team and them being at their physically best, I would prioritize over than just definitely being the little bit higher seed. I would. But this is a close one, and he's going to get, a lot of conversations and have to answer a lot of questions about this, certainly. But it's just crazy, how it all worked out here with, of course, them now, the 49ers, right? I mean, the 49ers must have been sitting there going, oh, my gosh, we could play the Bears again. We would love to play them in Chicago. We know we can move the ball, and it's just going to be an offensive shootout. Now you go to Philadelphia, and you're going to deal with that defense, and your defense isn't that good against a Eagles offense that, is not groundbreaking, but good enough to maybe move it against your not good defense, right? So it was amazing, all of it yesterday, and it's going to be some interesting matchups this weekend.
The 2 teams that have been to the last 3 Super Bowls in the NFC squaring off, so one of those teams will be done early. That is huge. That is significant. And the Panthers, we know, will be the number 4 seed. They will be hosting the Rams. They beat the Rams in Carolina not that long ago. The Rams were favored 10.5 points during the regular season game. They're favored by 9.5 in this one. And, hey, the Panthers lost on Saturday night. They were on the wrong end of some bad calls, and I think they need to stop doing the pool reports, because when they put the referees out there to talk to a reporter, they mess it all up.
Yeah, right.
It's far better. I've been advocating this for a while now. They need to have one person who is available to do it, like a massive Zoom call where anyone can ask any questions about any of the calls in any of the games, and that person is up to speed, understands all the nuances, understands all the calls, and is able to explain them, because Brad Allen, the referee from that game, did not do a good job explaining how they mishandled a couple of those plays. So at least the Panthers fans will feel better about how it worked out, because with the Falcons win, they get the 4 seed and they get another shot at the Rams. And they had a formula for disrupting the Rams. I just think when you consider how good the Rams are, good luck pulling that twice in the same season.
Exactly. I mean, you're going to be able to depend on Matthew Stafford throwing a pick six or throwing a ball and this interception in the end zone? Or are you going to be able to depend on 2 4th and 5 touchdown passes that were like deep down the field, right? I think that's where you look at it. You go, is that a realistic way that they can continue to win? I still sit here and go, okay, first off in the NFC, it doesn't feel like Chicago. There's flaws. And I questioned whether you should play Chicago last week, because this is the worst thing that's going to happen. We played to win and we lost, at home, and now we're going in the playoffs, and we just played a team that's not going to the playoffs. They didn't have anything to play for, and we lost. So that psyche there is definitely not going to be tip-top as far as what they're going into here.
And they've lost 2 in a row going into the playoffs.
And you lost 2 in a row going into the playoffs, right? But you look at the Bears, and you go, not playing their best football, the number 2 seed. Okay, you write down this, just stay here with this graphic, guys. Number 6, 49ers, not playing their best football, defensive issues. The Panthers, of course, not playing their best football. Green Bay, what? Not playing their best football. So I sit here and I just go, the Rams and the Seahawks, when I've been the most consistent, and when they play their best, to me, have caught my eye as being the best teams in the NFC, right? I know they've had some moments, some peaks and valleys, but at their best, I feel like the Rams and Seahawks at their best are on a different level than the other teams in the NFC. But the one team I look at is the Eagles, because I go, the Eagles are a different entity. They still are every bit as talented as those two teams. And, of course, they can play that physical, we don't care, we'll win a 17-13, 16-13 type of football game, and that's where they're scary. NFC's crazy here, but I certainly think those 3 teams stand above the rest right now.
Nothing against the other teams, but, man, I want a Rams-Seahawks rematch in the divisional round.
Well, yeah. I mean, the divisional round?
It could happen in the championship round, too. It all depends upon
how
who
it all
wins.
shakes out here.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, yes, you need the 49ers to upset the Eagles or something like that. I did not
for the divisional round, you just need 1, 2. You need 2, 3, and 5 to win.
Yeah, exactly.
2, 3, and 5 win. It'll be Rams at Seahawks.
Right.
Now, if there's an upset, it would be a rematch in the conference championship.
I would not want to see Rams Seahawks in the divisional round, because I feel like they would be a good NFC championship. Yeah. But we'll see where it goes. Beggars can't be choosers, definitely. But I also am happy. I did not want to see Rams Eagles in the wild card. 2 teams that I go can play in the Super Bowl, I think, to play in the wild card round and then be canceled out for the next 2 rounds. So I think this is better theater, better matchups, better for all of us viewing and watching on TV.
And I think the Panthers could be dangerous just from the standpoint of they're going to get crapped on all week. They have nothing to lose. They shouldn't be here.
Right.
I've seen that mentality boost a team unexpectedly in the past.
Their defensive coordinator, E.J. Evero, is from the Rams. He's rooted in that system. He was in Tampa with me, with Raheem Morris and company, so he knows some of how they operate, right? So that's where you give them a fighting chance, and like you said, it's kind of them against the world, and nobody believes in them.
Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.